Today's student is a mobile player who's about to show you that mobile doesn't mean disadvantage. His movement and positioning in the first half was almost perfect, but then something happened that almost cost him the entire match. Let's break it down. The fifth student of this coaching series will be Red Reaper. I asked if there's anything I should focus on, and Red replied with, "Hello Pav, I'm trying to become India's #1 mobile. I know, this clip doesn't tell that I'm there. I humbly ask you for tips. I am a mobile who's trying to be good at AR. I think I like game sense and movement, thank you." Honestly, we all have our goals, we all have something we want to achieve. Nobody's born talented, so if anyone thinks Red's goal is impossible, that's exactly what makes Red different from you. Alright, enough of voice Pav, let's get into the gameplay. Red starts the first round with AR, Uzi, Scythe and Warhorn. We do the Windows sight boost and catch our opponent off guard. Unfortunately, we don't land most of the shots. We safely reload our AR and continue pushing aggressively. We get in our opponent's face, quickly switch to Uzi as soon as we run out of AR bullets and secure the win. Now, I do want to mention sight usage, but someone commented on my last video that mobile players have one button that makes them dash instantly, so they can't delay it. If you are a mobile player, drop a comment right now and tell me, is this true? Can you delay your sight dash or is it instant? Because this changes everything about how I coach mobile players. Let me know in the comments. But if that's the case, then we want to focus on at least dashing perfectly on the wall instead of dashing way above it. I talked about this a lot in my previous videos. You don't even need to look fully up in order to dash on top of the wall. Lining this up perfectly helps you chain another slide as soon as you dash up, which makes you a much harder target. If you're curious why delaying sight is a thing, check out my first and second episodes where I talked about it. On mobile, it's harder to keep track of your enemies that are in front of your face, so what Red did here might not be the best thing to do. Still, we were fast enough, switched to our Uzi and secured the round. I also read some comments on the last episodes about using Uzi instead of Revolver, and while I do agree with that to an extent, it really depends on your aim and whether you can actually land your Revolver shots, because if you can, it's a far better pick than Uzi, though Uzi is a safer pick and a good backup weapon. We fully switched sides in the second round, completely confusing our enemy and catching him off guard. Our opponent is sniping, so Red does quick and smart picks with the Uzi while switching positions to throw the enemy off. This is really smart because you basically let the opponent guess where you're going to pop up from, and by the time you peek, shoot a couple of bullets and go back, they can't even react. If you do this kind of strafing behind the wall for too long, it will obviously get predictable, so Red notices that and instantly rotates back. Red honestly repositions really well here. Our opponent is still on the ramp, which makes it so much easier for us. We pop up from a totally different side and secure the kill. I really like how Red is repositioning. The movement isn't bad at all, especially for a mobile player, and the game sense has been treating us well so far. What I would work on based on the first 2 rounds alone would be aiming and sight usage. We struggle to land most shots and we look fully up when dashing, which makes us dash way above the wall and much more vulnerable. We switch to fists in the third round and do the ramp slide combo with Warhorn that we saw in the last episode. I also explained it in detail and showed how you can do it too, so if you want to learn this cool trick, check out my latest episode. Our opponent didn't expect that, so we land some really nice shots. It's also important to note that Red has been keeping track of the enemy while the enemy was rotating. Sure, fisting there was unnecessary since we could have secured the kill easily, but Red predicted the opponent really well and secured the kill. We start the 4th round the same way. You can see how red has the habit of jumping really high on the ramp, which can be good and bad at the same time. If your opponent knows how to aim well, jumping this high up makes us an easier target, though red does some clean strafing and secures the win. 5th round, we go to change settings. It's important to mention that red has auto shoot enabled, but as we could see previously, we didn't use auto shoot at all, so we disable it just in case. As soon as we started the round, we get sniped in the head. Now, this is important to understand. Red went to the same ramp for 2 rounds in a row. Our opponent noticed that and knew exactly where red would go in the next round, so he's pre-aiming the ramp. I talked about this in my last video as well. Just don't go to the same side every single round. It will work once or twice, but if your opponent is smart enough, he will punish you for it. Sixth round, back to AR, but back to the exact same spot. Luckily for us, we don't get sniped this time. We play ultra aggressive, get in our opponent's face, but for some odd reason decide to rotate all the way back to the ramp and do the exact same thing. We had 18 bullets in our Uzi, which is more than enough to finish the fight off, but I feel like red got scared of getting sniped, so we pulled back. That could be even worse, because sniping in medium to long range is far easier for some people than close range sniping. We are strafing in the open, reloading on 15 bullets in the open, and then we get sniped. If you wanted to play this risky in the first place, it would be way better if we just pushed when we had the chance and secured a kill. This way, we gave our opponent at least 10 chances to snipe us in the head. Never reload like that in the open, especially not against a sniper. And we knew he was one shot, yet we still did it. Back to Scythe, and this time we switch sides, which our enemy didn't expect at all, so we catch him off guard. Unfortunately, we panic and whiff most of the shots. We're playing medium to long range with Uzi, fully exposed, against a sniper player. And we pulled the exact same thing as last round. Not 1, but 2 reloads. I explained why we shouldn't do this, especially not with Uzi and especially not when fully exposed. We switch to flashes, which is good pick, but why do we jump on the ramp and then throw it? Well, good question. Imagine what would happen if our opponent landed that first shot. It would be over before we even threw that second flash. What I would do here is throw one flash high in the air, get closer, and throw another one the same way. Once I do that, I have more time to get my opponent while he's blinded. This way, we blind him but don't take advantage of it, and things go back to normal like he wasn't blinded at all, so we get headshot sniped. It's 4-4, we wanted that win badly, so we turn on auto shoot and switch to sniper. Well, I don't really like that. We miss a lot of shots, constantly play fully exposed and manage to land 3 hits, which didn't finish our enemy. I assume he used a medkit. He knows we're low, so he pushes us in our spawn. Luckily for us, red expected that and secured the win. Many mistakes were made even in the last round. The only reason we won this is because our enemy switched back to AR and couldn't land most of his shots. If he did, it would be over before we even landed that second shot. Our opponent has been playing ramp the whole game, not moving away from it at all. And instead of using that to our advantage by throwing a grenade or playing closer with flashes, we chose to fully expose ourselves 90% of the game. game, fully risking every single round, and that almost cost us the win. Looking at Red's gameplay, he played the first 4 rounds really well. The positioning was amazing, movement solid, decision making great. We struggled with aim here and there, but overall, for a mobile player, Red performed insanely well, until we hit that downfall and did the total opposite in the next 5 rounds. My advice would be to continue playing the same way you did in the first 4 rounds. It's better to play safe and smart than push aggressively and make yourself the easiest target on the map. I don't think you necessarily lack movement. I would recommend watching the 4th episode to see how I move on the ramp with fists instead of doing vertical jumps. Avoid fisting too much, it can lead to bad timings like in that one situation. And if you're using fists, you should try switching to grenade instead of warhorn, and that gives you so much positional advantage because you can do so much with the one single grenade and pop up from literally any spot, any side on the map. Work on your aim, especially close range aim, and if you really want to reach your goal, which I do respect a lot, focus on everything I talked about in this video. If you master the playstyle you used in the first 4 rounds, you will reach that goal in no time. So Red, keep grinding, don't let anyone bring you down. You can make it. And try to play without auto shoot. Try to lose games even with auto shoot off, but lose them. You know, don't switch to auto shoot just so you can win those games. That won't make you better. Losing is what helps you fix those mistakes. Losing is what helps you figure out what you did wrong in that situation. If you guys enjoyed watching some mobile gameplay for a change, leave a like and comment down below what you think Red should mainly focus on to achieve those goals. And if you do comment something, at least make sure it's positive and valuable. All of us have a lot to learn, nobody's perfect. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Subscribe if you haven't. I'm cooking up a really interesting episode, and I will see you in the next one.